Hello everybody, it's Hornhelm, and I'm back once again with another presentation for the Dwarven Vault, and today we're going to do another entry-level monster review. It's not a particularly long review, but I think it's one that's worth noting, both from a player standpoint and, of course, the Dungeon Master standpoint. Things not to forget about. The low-level creatures that everybody blows off right away and moves immediately to things like Tiamat and a Tarask and devils and demons, and those are great. They're a lot of fun to fight, especially if you're at the right level for it. But there's a lot of creatures that get lost in the shuffle that are smaller creatures, less well-known, but very, very effective. So today's review is about this. What's that? You know exactly what it is. Or you think so. That's a gas spore. And you're saying, well, no, it can't be. That's a beholder. No, it's a gas spore. A gas spore is a very nasty minor creature. And I think in today's 5e world, it works even better, because beholders are as common as popcorn in the current version of D&D. Not the way the original version started. Whether this is good or bad is up to you as a player or you as a DM. But in today's environment, gas spore could be pretty effective. They look just like a beholder. They have an eye-like growth, and they have growths on the top that look like the stalks that a beholder has. And you say, well, okay, it's a gas spore, big deal. What does that mean? Well, if you react as the typical player would, and trust me, the chance of this being misidentified as a beholder is very high, pointed out in the monster manual. You hit it, and it explodes. It takes very little damage to set these off. When it explodes, even if you don't mess with the type of explosion and just leave it as it is in the book, it does 6 to 36 points of damage. That's pretty hefty. At the same time, if somehow you touch a piece of this creature, either touch it while it's alive or a piece after it's dead, you get spores injected into your skin. If you don't do a cure disease or something similar in a very short period of time, you too shall die and create anywhere between 2 and 8 more gas spores. Mighty nice of you there as a victim. What an awesome, awesome monster. Most of the time today, everybody sees something like this and they go, wow, and go nuts because they think it's a beholder. Used correctly, you can not only frighten the ever-loving crap out of your party as a DM, you can also cause them to die from stupidity. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're a DM, you know that characters' most common cause of death is stupidity. Yes, you can say, oh, it was killed by a monster or walked into a trap or whatever it may be, but it's stupidity. Let's face it. Bad rolls can also contribute to this. But the reality is the player decides what they're going to do. And something like this makes it easy for them to make a bad decision. So from a player standpoint, when you talk to people who have gone up against these, they hate these things. Absolutely hate them. And in terms of how big of a menace are they get better than a 5. Everyone that I've spoken to as a player said that, yeah, from a 5 to a 7. Complete surprise, did a lot of damage, ended up losing so-and-so's character because it got injected with spores. These types of things make it a lot more deadly as a monster than you would think. And they're 1 hit point. How hard can it be? Well, it can be pretty hard sometimes. So, that's the gas spore. Not the Beholder. Beholder, oh, that's a whole different level. But as a gas spore, very, very intense, very cool. Does a lot of good things if you're a DM, and you don't need to put many in. It keeps your characters on their toes. As a player, you want to go out and puncture the DM's car tires when you leave. I understand. So that's today's review on an entry-level monster. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, well, try subscribing. Give us a like. Come back and see us again real soon. And remember, dwarves rock.